All right, we're live. Went kind of quick on this one. Didn't want to wait too much. So I do have an agenda. I guess I can go over it kind of quickly. Hopefully I can see it quickly. That's another question in itself. All right, yeah, so the agenda is like hello and a quote, kind of to recap the day. Then we have the lessons learned, daily recap, tomorrow's plan, which also just want to mention Sunday at 11 a.m. have like 2 free tickets. So if anyone catches this and wants to go, it's not actually Coastal Carolina playing. It's like Indiana versus George Mason. But I would love to not let it go to waste. I don't think I'm going to go, and I know my dad's not going. So if anyone's interested in that, definitely reach out. First come, first serve, basically. Then I'm going to ask for feedback, and then I'll sign off and say goodbye. So hopefully this is kind of quick. Before getting too far into it, I do want to just acknowledge, like, wow, anyone who has a good production quality, shout out to them. It is not easy by any means. It usually takes me way longer than I think. Like, I basically started like 10:30, and it did not take 5 minutes, as you can see, to set up my stream. But it is what it is. So the quote for today, and this really has to do with just like, I find myself mostly confident, but a little bit not losing confidence, but just afraid, like some things get me down. I just don't want to lose kind of the energy I have. So the quote for today is from Vince Lombardi, and it goes, "It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get back up." And I think that's like pretty common. I don't think he's the only one who's ever said that, certainly, but I guess he's attributed to it by ChatGPT. Anyways, going to stick to the agenda. If anyone kind of pops in the chat, we'll definitely engage, but otherwise, going to kind of stick to that. I'm going to take the jacket off because I wore the jacket yesterday. So I don't know. That's a self-conscious thing, I guess. But yeah, want to look a little different on this video than the last one. Cool. So lessons learned, kind of that's part of the agenda, is like I said. One thing I need to do is double check whenever my dad gives me a joke, which I already kind of knew. But there was a couple he gave today that I was like, there's no way they're original. And so then when I checked them out, they were not original. And so lesson learned there. Definitely... like I said, anything he says, because I don't want to have like unoriginal jokes. I think if you do it right, you can maybe throw a couple in if they're like segues to other jokes. But I in no way want to have just like, stupid dad jokes that are not stupid, but dad jokes that are been used. Anyways, that's one thing. The other thing is just like really aware of like my need to practice in front of the mirror in terms of my stand up. I'll go into that kind of later on my Shane D or the late night Shane show. Yes. Anyways, also trying just to stop saying and which I definitely will not be perfect, but it would be good to be mindful of that. So calling myself out. Definitely want to call out as well. I'm a little bit over my head with the bartending job. There's just a lot to learn. I can obviously pour basic drinks, but there's certain shots and drinks I have to remember. That part will probably be easy, but mixed in with the menu, which is kind of a lot, and then also like your basic drinks, it's just going to be a lot. And then you're also like learning how to navigate the bar itself. So I'm not expecting to be the top dog by any means, but just hoping that I kind of hold my own and show people that I'm willing to work, willing to learn. The other thing that's maybe not a lesson learned, but something I'm just really aware of, hyper focused on, ton of baseball in the next few weeks. Just a lot of, but a lot of coastal baseball, a lot of double headers and stuff like that, which is why I can't make the Sunday one. And I'll kind of get into more how there's conflicts going on. I also just think it's going to be tough not to drink because as the more I think about it, like baseball really is just something where you just like crush brews. So that'll be different for me, but finding other ways to spend time, definitely going to seem kind of like a nerd, but because I have to study, I'll actually get into that when I talk about tomorrow. So sticking to the agenda. Today I was on social media way too much, which you probably all know that. I want to be better at just getting in, getting out, kind of posting what I need to and then done. So basically my goal every day is to have the morning quote. I want to put my to-do list out there. I would love to have like one real estate post and also would like to have kind of a comedy thing, whether it's like a joke or a skit, something that would be kind of funny to get out there. So that's like my new format, trying to get those out right away before noon, bang, no more afternoon getting those out there because I really want to focus the rest of my day on like real estate stuff, which would be important. And, yeah, so being quick on that. That's, obviously I'm getting better at something new. I've really only done social media consistently, probably like going on 2 months now. I did start maybe a little bit in September, but it was still kind of sporadic, a little bit getting my training wheels off, a little bit in May of last year, but really took a long break. Yes. So, having a plan. I have a new client. I got a new client today, which was awesome. They were looking to actually buy my dad's place, which is no longer on the market, but they it's his neighbor basically, and they want to buy a place for their mom who's renting. Sorry, I'm talking slow just because I'm like really thinking about not saying which is interesting how much I just default to that. But yeah, so it's cool getting a new client. It's also just tough because they're in town this week, so I want to make sure that I get them around. But I also have baseball basically Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which will be a little bit interesting. But as soon as I get off kind of these two calls, going to try to get him out like a list of all the properties. Again, laughing because I said But yeah, once I get them a list of all the properties, then he can tell me if he's ready to go out and view them or not, which will be good. So that's exciting. That's another like potential buyer. Hoping that kind of would get in like the 200,000 range, which would be about like 5,000, potentially like 6,000 pre-commission split pre-tax. So that'd be good. That's about like 1 month of mortgage, 1 month of payment. So I would love that. So very excited. That's great. That kind of just happened from a previous open house I had where I gave her my card. It's a little unfortunate they didn't buy my dad's place, but honestly, it's going to favor me now because I get the sale of his place and whatever purchase they make. So that's awesome. Really excited for that. Yeah, and then just in terms of the open mic and the stand-up, I will talk more about how that went on the Late Night Shane show. No need to go more into that. So we're going to put this down. We're about halfway through. We're at 6 minutes. Cool. Trying to make it under 10 minutes like our new goal. Tomorrow I'm going to be studying at the baseball game. So that was something I kind of was talking about earlier. I'm a little bit of a nerd, but not going to be drinking. I'm going to make maybe like flashcards tonight so I can bring in there. Maybe even make my flashcards at the tailgate. So basically, like it'll say like what the drink is, and then on the back it'll have all the ingredients, and I'll get to test myself a little bit. I'm also going to write jokes. Probably not that much, but that just happens naturally, like whenever you're there thinking of jokes. So when I'm at the baseball game and things are going slow, I'm just going to really be intentional about like, oh, what's funny, note it down. I basically have exhausted all my jokes that I had in my little joke book and turned them into note cards. So it'll be good to kind of reiterate on that and get more jokes built. So I might have to work a little bit with a new client tomorrow, depending on what they say. So I'm going to kind of keep that in the back of my head. I'm really hoping I can go to the 3 p.m. game and have no issues. If I have to miss some of the 11 a.m. game, so be it. Hopefully my dad doesn't get too upset with that. It is a doubleheader, like I said. And then I think tomorrow I'm going to finish the day at Neil and Pam's, if not Old Bull and Bush. I love going to Neil and Pam's. That's actually, like I said, like the kind of main parent of Neil's Creek House where I'm going to be working. Maybe it'd be good to kind of test my knowledge there, talk to some bartenders, any tricks of the trade and stuff like that. Good to just show face. I'm not sure if they have a band there. That might dictate whether I go there or not. In fact, if I find a place with one of the bands I like to follow, I might end up in Merle's Inlet. No real clue what I do. I don't think my dad's going to be sticking around at night. He probably has to go back to his girlfriend. Completely understand that. So no big deal. I do want to call out, as I said earlier, I have tickets for Sunday at 11 a.m. It's Indiana versus George Mason. Definitely reach out if anyone has interest, whether it's like your kids, your girlfriend, someone visiting. If you're in the Myrtle Beach area and you can make it out to Conway, I'd love to not have those go to waste. So definitely reach out if there's any interest. Like I said, it's a first come, first serve. Not going to like pick favorites or anything. If I hear someone say they want it, cool, awesome. Part of the reason I got them anyways is for that, to give them away. Probably wish I had a little bit more lead time. Try to be a little bit better at that in the future. But why not? Something to do on a Sunday, 11 a.m. Maybe on your way out of church, you kind of just rush over there and you may miss the first inning. Why not? Anyways, that's kind of, we're getting to the end now, which is good. We're in the last 8 minutes. I'd love to get some feedback from you all. You know, what's good that I've been doing on this show, on my social media, that I should keep doing, right? What's bad? What's annoying you? What's negative? You're not going to hurt my feelings. Too bad. You know, don't absolutely rip me apart. But what could be improved on, right? Like, what should I stop doing? What's bad? Next question is, what topics would you like to hear tomorrow, in the future, next week, whatever? Like, what are some things you'd like to hear, whether it's about me, my life, maybe things that should be in the agenda that I didn't include. Again, I'm kind of blind to it until people tell me. Yeah, but I'd like to know. And is there anything else? You know, just really open-ended feedback. I love feedback. I love getting better and improving. I've heard some good feedback actually from several of my friends. My sister today talked about how her friends are listening in and watching. Really appreciate that support, kind of the 2 levels of support there. Hoping my brother Richard at one point will start to help get his friends involved because he has so many followers. But no, I'm joking about that. And really what stinks is like I feel like I know most of his followers. We're from like the same town. Definitely hung out with a lot of his friends back in the day and we used to kind of get along. So would love that. If any of my brother's friends are listening, Share me to your story because he won't do it. Give me the love that I deserve, but he won't give me. And I'm not crying about it. Like, I just yell at him every day, and I'm like, you are such a dick, Richard. And that's his name, Richard. So, hence him being a dick. Anyways, I want to say thanks for watching. I love you all. I appreciate your support. I really pray that you all have a great day. You know, keep staying healthy. Get to the gym. Meditate. Take some time for yourself. That's always important. Don't work too hard. And, you know, like the quote of the day says, it's not about whether you get knocked down or not. It's about getting back up. So I'm going to actually take about 5 minutes or so just to kind of write up the agenda for the Late Shane show. And then I'm also going to probably have to set it up. So just expect it probably to be a little bit closer to like 11:08, 11:10. But I'm feeling pretty good that I'll be able to get it done quickly. Thank you again. Hope you all have a good night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace out, Facebook and Instagram. I guess I'm going to try to end Instagram too early because I feel like it's delayed.